So today's video is going to be a little bit different just because I have an actual unreleased prototype in my hands that we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about some of the rumors that have come out about this shoe, what's actually true about this shoe, and what to expect in the future. So just a quick disclaimer that I am not a Nike wear tester. Nike did not send me this shoe. Anyways, let's get into the deep dive of this prototype. So essentially what I have in my hand here is the Tempo Next Percent with a more training oriented upper. This is in contrast to the regular Tempo Next Percent that has the Flyknit kind of more racing oriented upper. So a image of a prototype like this shoe did leak online, and a lot of people were calling it the Tempo Next Percent 2. And there was some controversy because people thought it'd be heavier, even clunkier with a training oriented upper. However, some people also liked that it had a training oriented upper because they tend to use it for those use cases more than kind of those up-tempo paces. But what I'm about to say will be either good or bad news depending which side of that argument you're on, and that is this isn't the Tempo Next Percent 2, and there won't be a Tempo Next Percent 2 as far as I know, and if there is one, it is not planned for any time in the future. Something that may be kind of comparable is the Zoomfly 5 that's coming out with the ZoomX and the carbon fiber plate. So then I guess you're asking, what is this shoe then? Well, let's go ahead and take a closer look at it. The outsole on this particular variant is the same outsole as the Tempo Next Percent you may have at home right now. Now, what about the midsole? Well, it has React foam in the heel, ZoomX for the rest of it, 2 Air Zoom AirPods in the forefoot, and a plastic plate. So the exact same as the released Tempo Next Percent as well. The upper, however, is where things start getting interesting. So the reason that this upper is interesting is that it's actually an upper on an exciting shoe that's coming out soon, and that is the Pegasus 39. So compared to the Pegasus 38, it gets some decent upgrades. The tongue is luckily pretty similar, and there is a slightly new material for the mesh, but the main difference comes in the midfoot cage and the heel counter. So the midfoot cage goes back to using fly wire instead of the thick bands, and it has some reinforcements that remind me of the midfoot cage of the Vomero 15. The heel now has a more pronounced Achilles fin, which reminds me a lot of the one found on the Peg Turbo, the first version, which is a change I'm happy about. So at this point in the video, you're probably asking yourself, why does Nike have a Peg 39 upper on the Tempo Next Percent midsole? Well, the answer is kind of easy. I mean, if you look at their prototyping process, a lot of times they just want to test the upper, but the midsole isn't ready yet, or they want you to focus only on the upper and not some new exciting underfoot feel. So they'll just throw the new upper on a midsole that they have lying around that you're probably already used to. And the exact opposite of this is also true, where they'll take a brand new midsole design and they'll throw on an upper that they have of one of their popular shoes already. An example of this is an Alphafly prototype where they put the Nike Peg Turbo, the first version, upper on it, and it actually resembles this shoe quite a bit. Anyways, this isn't an episode of sneaker genealogy, so let's get back to this shoe. So the purpose of this particular shoe is to test out the new Peg 39 upper that'll be coming out this summer, and that will be put on a new midsole with the tweaked React midsole and the Peg 39 that also has an additional Air Zoom unit in the heel. But check out my other video to learn more about that. So anyways, complicating this shoe even further is that there are other shoes like this with the Peg 39 upper and the Tempo Next Percent midsole, but they have outsoles that are different, and they resemble those found on the Alphafly 2 prototypes. So the purpose of those shoes is not only to test out the new upper, but also the underfoot feel and durability of that different outsole. So this shoe, as it is, will most likely never see the running shelf of your local running store. However, I thought it was a cool kind of Franken shoe that allows us to dive into the prototyping process and kind of see what it looks like, plus get a first look at the Peg 39 upper. I hope you enjoyed this video, you thought it was interesting, and if you did, I think you'll like my new series coming out soon, which is called Sneaker Genealogy, where we look at shoes from their early prototype stages all the way to their current final stage. And spoiler, the first episode is going to be on the Vaporfly. So subscribe so you don't miss those videos. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on running.